දයාබර දූ දරුවනි, ඔබේ ඉංග්‍රීසි දැනුම වැඩි දියුණු කිරීම සඳහා අපි ඔබට අත දෙන්නෙමු. ඔබ සඳහාම සකසා ඇති මේ සරල ඉංග්‍රීසි පාඩම් මාලාව තුලින් ඔබේ දැනුම තවත් වැඩි කරගන්න. ලෝකයේ අනෙකුත් රටවල් සමග අත්වැල් බැඳගන්න අපි ඉංග්‍රීසියෙන් කතා කරමු.
We have a dry season and a wet season in our country. The monsoon months are the wet seasons. And outside of the monsoon months, well, it can be dry, meaning there is no rain. So in some parts of our country, we describe the time from, say, November to March as being the dry season. Although on the other side of the island of Sri Lanka, it is the wet season in the months from November to March. And then again it changes. From April to about June or July or even August, it is the wet season. The monsoon months bring a lot of rain and sometimes wind with it. So we say windy weather. That is because the wind is blowing. And in certain parts of the island, the weather is cold, very cold, such as in Nuwara, very cold. We also refer to the weather in Bandarawala and Haputale as being cool. So we have also reference made to cool weather. It is true that in some other countries, the seasons are spring, summer, autumn, and winter. But we don't have that. In those countries where you have the 4 seasons, in winter, it could be snowing. There is snow. But we don't have that here. But we also have holiday seasons. In April and also in December, we have holiday seasons. The school terms or the school year begins in January and ends in December. The New Year festival is in April. So those are festival seasons. And also sometimes December is a festival season. So there are ways of talking about parts of the year. We refer to it as seasons, and we can also refer to it with regard to the weather, and we say dry season and wet season. So these are interesting terms, but how do we use them? In the remainder of this program, we will learn more about how we can use these in everyday speech.
Let's take a look at the seasons around the world. In Sri Lanka, we have 2 seasons. In countries like England and France, we usually have 4. They are spring, where it's warm and dry, but in the nights it gets cooler. Spring goes into summer, which is hot and sometimes very humid. Summer moves into autumn, where leaves fall after turning brown, and it slowly moves towards winter, which is the coldest season of the year. This is the time when it usually snows. We could say there is often snow in winter, or it snows in winter. Have you heard the word temperature? Well, temperature is a measure of how hot or cold it is. It's usually measured in degrees. We could say the temperature today is 20 degrees, or the temperature yesterday was 22 degrees. The calendar year is usually divided into 12 parts. These parts are individually called a month. That means there are 12 months in a year. Do you know what they are? They start with January, February, March, and April. What comes next? That's right, May. Then comes June, July, August, and September. The last 3 months of the year are October, November, and December. We usually have holidays in April, August, and December. Look outside. What's the weather like today? Is it sunny? How would you say it then? It's sunny. You could say it's cloudy or it's windy. What's the tense we use? That's right, it's the present tense. How would we use the present continuous tense if we were talking about the weather? We'd say it's raining, which is a contracted form of it is raining. If we want to say it is snowing, we could also say it's snowing. What's a festival? A festival is a celebration of an event, and most often it's a religious event. Festivals take place at least once a year in all parts of the world. We know a few in Sri Lanka too, but let's talk about some in other countries. In February, in Japan, people celebrate a special festival called the Snow Festival. Do you know why that is? Well, it begins to snow there. In March, at the same time, they celebrate Carnival in Brazil. Holi is a festival that's celebrated in India. In Italy, there's a festival called the Gioco del Calcio, and that is celebrated in the month of June. Germany has a very special festival. It's called Oktoberfest. But it's not celebrated in October. It's celebrated in the month of September. And on the 31st of December, at the end of every year, we have a special festival called New Year's Eve. This is a special festival celebrated all over the world. It's a universal festival, and people go out to parties, watch fireworks, and wait till the 1st of January, which is New Year's Day.
Now we sometimes learn new words, or we get familiar with words so that we know how to use them. And sometimes we have phrases, that's more than one word put together. And here's one phrase which you can hear sometimes people talking and using. All year round, that's the phrase, all year round. When put together, those three words, all year round, means right through the year. Now, since we are living in a country where it is warm and we do have sun, even on a rainy day, usually at some time, even for a few minutes or half an hour, there is sunshine and then maybe more rain, but we usually have sunshine in this country. So you could say, in Sri Lanka we have all year round sun, or we can say, in Sri Lanka we have the sun shining all year round. So all year round means most of the time or all of the time. 365 days, all year round. Here's another word you want to keep in mind, and that's temperature. Temperature. That's how we measure that which is hot or cold. So when it is a low temperature, we say it is cold. And when the temperature is high, we say it is hot. And sometimes we even say it is boiling temperature. And we use the word temperature to mean the heat in the day, the heat or level of cold in items of food, and also temperature refers to our body temperature. If we have a high fever, then our temperature goes up. And if we have a very high temperature, it means that we are really quite sick and needing to rest, and perhaps even take some medication under doctor's advice. So temperature, learn the meaning of that by referring to your dictionary, and once you understand it, yes, you can enjoy using it in your everyday speech. Well, that's it. Bye for now.